And then he started showing his face while casting! Let there be light. There we go. Hello, everybody. This is me. This is Mr. 789 here on this glorious day of May 1st, 2017, and I know what you're thinking. Oh shit, he's gonna start showing his face while he's casting. Well, if you're paying attention to the last, 10 seconds of video, you are correct, my good sir or madame. More likely than not, sir, but we'll ignore that for now. I wanted to start showing my face a little bit more, because I want to have more of a personal connection to my audience, you know? I mean, I really enjoy what I do, and I hope you guys are enjoying this as much as I am, so I just kind of want to bring a little bit more, I don't want to say intimacy, but a little bit more of a connection between us, you know? I think it'll be a step in the right direction for surezies. Let me stop looking at myself like this and start looking at the webcam. Jesus, Mr. 79, get it under control. Now, thankfully for you folks, I'm only confining myself to the top right-hand corner of the screen. I think that's fair. You don't have to be looking at this every time you look at a big engagement. So I think that's a win-win situation for everyone, right? I think that's fair. So I'm very curious to know, as long as we keep it all civil and PG-13, what do you guys think of this arrangement? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Would you rather see more? Would you rather see less? Would you rather see none at all? Please let me know your thoughts down below, and I'll be sure to take that into due consideration. And speaking of due condensation, it's kind of foggy on my window at the moment. It's kind of misty over here in the land of Reno, in the state of Nevada. But that is not what we're going to focus on. I've done enough stalling for time while I think of a clever way to introduce our players. So without further ado, folks, let's get on into the game. Ah! Too fast. Okay, spawning in the bottom left-hand position of Newkirk Precinct, representing our Red Zerg player. Give it up for CrowbarSpine. And his opponent, spawning in the bottom right-hand position of Newkirk Precinct, representing our Blue Terran player. He's got it coolio in Cooltown. It is boosted. And we are into the game officially. Now, immediately a couple problems come to mind when I am putting my face on the camera like this. A couple things is, I can't do all the disgusting things I generally do during a cast. For example, if I wanted to covertly just kind of, I a little tickle on my nose. Like, you know, you guys can't see my face. I'm just gonna be casting like, oh, the bandits are running on in. Oh, it's amazing. Oh, big engagement coming on up. I don't know if it's gonna hold. But now, like, I have to keep myself honest. I have to completely negate any sort of that, or just get to the point where I don't care. See which one comes first, I suppose. Meanwhile, our friend NCST CrowbarSpine, very much playing with a little bit of huevos this game. What do I mean with a little bit of huevos? For those of you not familiar with the Spanish language, myself included, he's got balls, folks. He's going for a hatchery first, no gas, straight into pool. I'm curious as to whether or not this is actually going to be a gasless opening. I'm guessing it might be, and I have some very strong opinions about that, so gonna have to see how that turns out. Meanwhile, this drone sacrificed a lot of its mining time, actually. I don't really like this choice from my friend CrowbarSpine. Sure, you're gonna be safe, but I don't know, man. There's a lot of minerals that Zerg has to sacrifice early in-game, and now those are minerals that he will not be able to use to defend or macro on up. And CrowbarSpine, man, I'll tell you, they don't call this guy Crowbar No Spine or Crowbar Kinda Spine. No, they call him CrowbarSpine for a reason, because he's got one. Look at this, gasless 3 hatcheries. I mean, you do this against Protoss, and you're like, ooh, I don't know. What if they get me? You do this against Terran, and they will run in your base with Stin Marines, pick up your drones, and just do horrible things to it. And I am very fearful for our friend CrowbarSpine. Look at this. Boosted Reaper is going to go ahead and get on into the natural base. Already picking off one drone, or actually one Zergling. I wouldn't be surprised if the other one does go down, and there we go. Oh, the Zergling does go down. Look at him, finally taking a Vespine Geyser, saying psych, and just saving the drone into a Spore Crawler instead. Another one did make itself into an Attractor. I bet you that will be cancelled to my very much discontent. Queen pops, wants some of that sweet Reaper ass. Reaper has to politely decline for the time being. Meanwhile, our friend Boosted in Boosted Land. Let's see what he is doing. Looks like a very standard schmandard 2-1-1 build. What is 2-1-1 build? In case you've been living under a rock for the past 7 decades, well, a 2-1-1 build basically goes like this. Barracks, command center, barracks, factory, starport, 2 medevacs, do horrible things to the Zerg player, profit, especially if your name begins with Beyond. Now, whether our friend Booster can actually hit this timing very well or soon, I am a little bit sketchy, as he is making a Widow Mine at the moment, and I'm not too much of a fan of that choice. It very much delays the starport, and you know what? As soon as you hit 16 Marines, you want to be able to just boost on right across the map, and I fear that this build from our friend Booster, getting that Widow Mine will not allow him to do so. Oh, a drone kill actually being gotten for this Reaper. Let me select you. There we go, 3 kills on it so far. Is he gonna get another one? Yeah, 4th. This is brutal damage. Queen does come over here, sees her chance, takes it, and this spine, oh my gosh, I should really turn down the graphics on this thing, shouldn't I? Oh my gosh, I'm trying to get better sleep as night, and let me tell you, seeing the spine of a Reaper, on a scale from 1 to 10 on helpfulness, folks, I'm gonna go ahead and call that one a 2. I will not say that. I will call that more of a non-aiding factor than an aiding factor. Meanwhile, our friend Boosted, supply blocked to the hot heavens, finally getting a supply deal to try and clear that on up, but it's only 1. And at this point, you have like, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You already have 5 supply queued up. This supply depot is gonna finish, and then he's immediately gonna be in the verge of supply blocking again, and just make 2 supply depots. That's all. Is it too much to ask for? I think one of the more important things for up-and-coming player to understand is better to make too much supply, as in too much overlords, or too many overlords, too many supply depots, and too many pylons, than not enough supply at all. It took me years to actually implement that, but I tell you, my game quality went... And then it's getting off, and now it's going... Wow, I really need to work on my enunciation, don't I? 15 Marines actually out on the map for our friend Boosted. And actually, did I doubt him? Look at this, he's gonna go ahead and get 18. So, it's still a little bit delayed. I'm not gonna say it's perfect, but hey, he still has a decent group of bio. And here's why you don't see many gasless builds, right? Just now, 8 workers are starting on up, and actually, oh, I guess I am stupid. I was about to say there's not a single roach on the playing field, but look at those bad boys scuttle their way to Victory Town, ready to defend against a 2-on-1. However, the funny thing is about medevacs is they can go here, and then a couple seconds later, they can go here. What I'm trying to say is, they're fast units, folks, and they're not to be deterred so easily by a couple of slow roaches scuttling on, trying to achieve victory. Meanwhile, Infestation Pit and 2 Evos come down. Gosh, CrowbarSpine, if every Zerg player has as many balls as you, then maybe the TvZ matchup would be more balanced. Roaches trying to make their way on over. No stem for my friend Booster. Looks like he wants to try and fight the Roaches. Not quite certain about that decision. Already one medevac going down to the Spore Crawler Queen combo. Not some great macro from our friend Booster, and the Roaches are just gonna clean up house with their acid saliva. Paradoxically so, because you would expect saliva to just get dirty stuff on everything. But that doesn't seem to be the case. And look at this. Gas is now up and running. He has 4 extractors. Very strong. Not bad. Definitely needs a little bit more, though. Meanwhile, our friend Booster, what is his plan? Here's plan number B. Here's plan B. In case he didn't outright kill the Zerg. You don't have to with the 2-1 build, but just in case, you make another command center, which is fine. That's respectful, but... I mean, look at this. See that infestation pit? That means there's not an I'm sorry, baby. I didn't mean to. This infestation pit means that there's not an infestation pit on the battlefield, which means there will not be a hive very soon, which means that he is that much not closer to having Ultralisk. Having trouble following along? So am I. Meanwhile, our friend Boosted landing the orbital command. We should be seeing the Mule Hammer any second now. There we go. 1 Muley and 2 Muleys. Not bad. They kind of look like they have eyes, but I really know that is just my imagination, and they are lifeless beings whose sole purpose is to gather money and then die. Looking at you, corporate America. Meanwhile, we have another drop heading on. Our 2 medevacs full. Gonna make their way across the map. And as we're watching the main story of this action, try to boost over to the 3rd base, let me go ahead and ask you guys, how are you guys enduring the clan wars? Yeah, that's a little off topic now, isn't it? I've been having a lot of fun. They're certainly a blast to play. I think they're a very underappreciated part of Starcraft culture. And oh my god, this drone is gonna scout this, isn't it? Oh my god, just barely missed it. I'm really enjoying casting it. I hope you guys are having fun watching it, and let me tell you, it is a very satisfying series to watch. So if you want to check it out, please go ahead and be sure to catch those. Upload them every day. Should be seeing this one on actually May 1st, not May 2nd. May 1st should be up to today, and if it's not, you can give me all sorts of help for it. And speaking of giving hell, these Marines are ready to go. Let's see what they do to the Queens. Yeah, exactly what you'd expect. Meanwhile, these drones are going on down. Already a lot of workers going on down. 2 queens and a handful of workers. Ouch, says CrowbarSpine as his medevacs boost on away. Are they going to find this 4th base? Yes, but the Roach Raptor is here to go ahead and deter. This infestation pit is still here. I just don't think he can go up to Hive on 55 workers, especially when his Terran opponent has 59. I mean, that is just a little too much to handle, don't you think? Creep spread looking not bad at all. If you take a quick vision check, he sees a Marine, sees some medevacs, doesn't see too much. Nothing too horrible. Should be sending his roaches and infestors to go ahead and take this out. I would like to see some more creep spread up here nonetheless. However, these Ravagers and Infestor combo. No! You could have fungled. You could have done so many great things. Unfortunately, shoulda, coulda, woulda, folks. Looks like these roaches are going to go ahead, come here just in time to meet up with the Bio. Going to go and try to take him out. And now these medevacs should not be allowed their way back home. And there we go. Bio's coming down. Such synergy with the fungals. A beautiful combination. Meanwhile, this medevac in the main base definitely scouted for our friend CrowbarSpine. Look at that. He's going to go ahead and try to take it out with a single queen. Not a great idea. Meanwhile, Boosted trying to be everywhere at once, attacking in 2 locations at the same time. This 4th base is almost certainly forfeit, folks, as these Marines are stemmed and they are not happy at the Zerg Nemesis. And look like it is going to go down. And meanwhile, these Marines can just pick up and boost on away or lose their lives fighting against 1 or 2 roaches. And there we go. Looks like they're going to go ahead and choose the first option and run away with their genitals still intact. Meanwhile, our friend CrowbarSpine still hovering at around 55 workers, trying to go to Hive. I just don't think it's going to work. This Spine Crawler going to go ahead and get targeted on down. The medevac copying this has died. These are some very brave Bio forces. And look at them just moving into the main base. More workers going down. 13 killed so far. And let me tell you, folks, it is looking grim. 9 drones are on the way. How many larvae does he have open? He has 5, so it's finally spending that huge larva bank that he was pulling up. 3 bases to 4 bases. Every Zerg player just clenched a little bit, folks, as this is definitely not something any Zerg player wants to see in any of their matches whatsoever. The one thing he does have going for him, nonetheless, is that Boosted's 4th base is not the planetary fortress, folks. It is an orbital command, which means that he either messed up big time or he messed up big time, because Lings can just look at this orbital command, destroy all the SCVs, destroy the orbital force, lifts off, blah 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 blah. Doesn't have a strong point to retreat to. That orbital command is so useful for the Terran player. Oh, it did land. The Fungers are coming down. The Ravagers raining down by from above. And what a counter push from our friend CrowbarSpine. Oh, this is going to go down. Boosted. Getting caught with the money bungles. These siege tanks trying to do as much damage as they can. They're good versus roaches, but you know what's better than 2 siege tanks? A shit ton of roaches, folks. Looks as though our friend Boosted, his reinforcements may be able to hold this 3rd base location. I would love to see some bunkers going up, but it's just a little bit too late. Neural Parasite, I would love to see you in action, folks. Meanwhile, there's a drop over here, taking out the 3rd base. CrowbarSpine is all in. It is now or it is never. He's trying to destroy the Bio forces. Looks as though there's not just the DPS here. The SCVs are going down to buffer. 55 to 56 total workers, though. If Boosted can just hold on, he can maybe stabilize against a Zerg player who lost all of his economy. There's just infestors left at this point. Ravagers not known for being able to take those shots. And Boosted holds for the time being. The scan coming down. These infestors cannot be lost. They absolutely cannot be lost. Well, they're being lost. I guess I should say they should not be lost. And there we go. 3 going on down. Boosted deciding to take his breath. And so will I. Inner peace. What is CrowbarSpine to do? 2 functional bases. 1 hive, no hive tech. He can afford maybe 1 ultra, maybe 2, but that does not a victory against the Terran army make. These infestors are probably gonna have to shark around and do a whole lot of heavy lifting, because look at this. 1 base, 2 base, 3 base, and finally 4th base. And that is not a good sight, folks. That is a very unpretty sight to behold. Not even a sight with a good personality. This is just an ugly thing. Just pure disgustingness, man. This is not something you want to be seeing. Our friend CrowbarSpine is in a terrible, terrible amount of trouble. I will rate his pretty precarious meter on a level of 3 Ps. Grand 3 Ps, folks. 3 Ps, folks. He is in a pretty precarious position, which means it is not looking great. Looks as though this bar is going to go ahead and take out a couple of creep tumors. Roach, actually, just single a Roach, trying to stand up against 4 Marines, saying, don't we counter Marines? Marines saying no, and thusly sticking their giant genitals up the Roach's orifices. This scuttlement approaches is gonna go ahead and try to clean up for now, but I don't know. Look at the chicken noodle supply, 117 to 157 and that's not even a good 135 supply. That is Roach Infestor Ravager. That is okay. At the very best, that is okay. There's only one siege tank for a friend boosted though. Definitely still possible. I mean, just looking at this, my Protoss Mine has had years of analyzing where splash damage could occur, and maybe if he gets fungals on all this bio, rains down the corrosive vials, maybe he gets something, morphing 2 overseers in the time being. Maybe just for the intimidation factor, saying, hey, I see you, you naughty Terran player, don't you try anything cheeky. Meanwhile, a good fungal does pick up a couple of these units. Boosted still has to give a lot of respect to this army. A lot of Boosted's army is actually back home. Oh, I think this is a little bit of a mistake. If you just parade push across the map, I don't think there's much that friend CrowbarSpine could do. Meanwhile, this 4th base is nice, up and established. Still 51 58 total workers. He has lost not 31, not 33, but folks. Oh, I can't do the popping thing with my cheeks anymore. I'm not a child anymore. He is at 32 workers, and that is, I've said this the whole game, that is, you can't go to hive on 32 workers. He agrees, no hive tech at all, except for the hive, but you know, that doesn't count. Meanwhile, our friend CrowbarSpine, he sees it happening. Is he gonna respond? No, he's completely out of position. Oh, what a horrible position. This hive is not going to live. It's going down 1,500 hit points, now 1,000, now 500, and now Zilch Arena, folks. As it does get targeted on down, there's a lot of tech in his main base that he cannot afford to lose. The hive ends up going down. The Roach Ravager trying to come in and respond. These Infestors not sure if they want to engage. The siege tank is going to go down. A couple of beautiful fungals could make or break the game. A huge fungal on all the medevacs. Some of them trying to escape, but still a lot of supply going down. All of a sudden, we see a much more even army supply tab. And meanwhile, 2 medevacs still out on the map. 30 supply. Don't lose it, Boost. He's going to go ahead, try to boost it. Try to boost it himself over to the 3rd base. Trying to boost himself over to the 3rd base location. Gonna go ahead and drop this bio. The bio looks at the army and says, what the hell are you doing, Commander? And promptly decides to get destructinated. And now 128 armor supply to 117. We may very well be seeing the final match. The fungals do go down. A lot of the bio is very low on health and justly were destroyed. Another beautiful fungal. No skins available. A huge fungal in the middle of it all. The curse of balls raining down just as these sea strengths not participating in the battle. A huge blunder from a Terran army. And now the supply shifts in CrowbarSpine's favor. He is moving on forward. I think he has done it. Losing all of his bases, losing his hive, losing his main, but not losing the game. Now 73 armor supply to 57. There are 10 Marines, 2 Marauders, a siege tank, and 2 medevacs in production, as well as plus 3 ship weapons. God damn, those things are gonna hit hard. The 2-2 Roach Ravager is no match for 3T Bio. However, he's gonna have to rely on sheer numbers and biles to go and take him out. Unfortunately, boosted his 5th base. He has learned from previous mistakes. It is a planetary, a goopy infested, kind of AIDS looking, like 4th world country looking planetary fortress, but it's a planetary fortress nonetheless. Yeah, it is a very strong defensive position, and CrowbarSpine cannot hope to engage. Oh man, it looks as though he may have had an opportunity there for a minute, but now you can just see the Terran macro machine just absolutely dominating the Zerg player. 54 to 63 total workers. I cannot remember a point in this game where the CrowbarSpine held a comfortable drone advantage over the Terran Pizza Burps Terran player. 95 armor supply to 106, 151 APM to 150, but that's kind of a moot point. 1 Infestor on the way, but an Infestor and a spawn pool on the way. Not something you get to see very often in the production tab, tell you that much. And let's see, I want to see what CrowbarSpine is doing. We're going to go ahead, click on him, and player camera. This is what we are seeing, exactly what CrowbarSpine is seeing. Look, Ma, no hands. He's fighting his creep. We're trying to figure out what to do. He has good map vision, as you can see. It's not looking bad, but it's just not much for him to do. What is he thinking about? Like, spread creep? Sure. Move your army around? I guess. Move a changeling into a planetary? I guess that's something you can do, but I mean, honestly, it just feels a lot for naught, folks. This base is up and established. We have 1, 2, we'll call that 2 mining bases for the Zerg to the 1, 2, 3 and a half of the Terran. The Terran has mules on top of it and a worker advantage. Folks, I don't think our Zerg player is long for this war. 3 more Infestors are on the way. Infestors are kind of like the storm of the Zerg race, right? Except the storm is kind of sticky, you know? It kind of traps the units in there, so You know what, Storm versus this army? I mean, yeah, kind of. Not really, but kind of. You can make something happen, I hope. 183 supply to 200. Now as we're getting to the higher stage of supply, now this 3-3 bio absolutely should not be any much of a problem to take on the short Ravager. However, upgrades don't protect you against the Festers, and huge cross of is raining on down, not quite getting the connections he wants, and Boosted still not scanning. Mamma mia, Boosted, what a stupid salami sauce. I don't mean to use the word stupid, but look at that, getting bungled everywhere, losing all of his units to corrosive files, landing, force a retreat once more. God, but beep-a-da-bop-a, Boosted, what are you doing? Beep-a-da-bop-a, Boosted, come on, mamma mia, man. Oh, you are forgiven, Boosted. A nice job taking out this third base while our friend CrowbarSpine is attracted, and look at this. I keep on doubting Boosted, keep on doubting his abilities to take effective engagements, but look at that. He knows the fundamentals of Terran is annoy the shit out of your opponent. Ooh. 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 Well, that's 2 minivac's not going to be seen in this game any longer, folks. Oh my gosh, the 19 minute mark is passing 28 workers, though. Oh, 28 workers. What's it to do to die today, CrowbarSpine? I don't know. He has 1 hatchery, another hatchery. He's lost so many workers. 50 Siete workers killed. That is a lot more than Boosted has lost. 15. I would have felt like maybe Ling run bys, maybe Bird and Fester hit squads. I don't know, something like that to get him back in the game would have been greatly appreciated, but no. It's just been CrowbarSpine barely holding on to Boosted attacks, but Boosted, with every attack, managing to take down the economy of CrowbarSpine. I'm not sure what he can do. He has to go for one last final push, otherwise I don't think he has much of a chance in this game. 88 armor supply to 94. This is your moment to strike, CrowbarSpine. His first offensive move is toward the planetary fortress, but bios and fungals preventing the repair of the planetary, and it does go down. Beautiful proactive play from our friend CrowbarSpine, trying to even up the score just a little bit, but look at this income. G-Suites, powder, 2,500 minerals to the 700, doubling the gas income as well. I just don't see it, CrowbarSpine. I don't see you winning the game long term. Look at this, another drive, trying to do what damage it can, and finding a little bit. I mean, sure, you're gonna pick up medevacs. If you look at the resources lost, if you go to resources lost, look at this. Our friend CrowbarSpine is actually pretty close. Generally, you would expect the Terran or the Zerg to have lost much more than Terran, but even though our friend CrowbarSpine has been very cost effective, he has not been winning this game. It doesn't matter if you are very cost inefficient, if you have the cost to make that inefficiencies go bye-bye. Meanwhile, these bio taking care of the creep. I think this may be the push that breaks CrowbarSpine's back. Or spine. Or back. I'm not quite sure how to handle that mannerism. Meanwhile, this offensive to the 4th base, this is absolutely the linchpin of our friend CrowbarSpine's economy. Can I even call it that? No, because it doesn't exist anymore. The drones don't exist. Nothing exists. These tanks... Oh, assimilation successful. Oh, the new repairs are on the tanks doing incredible damage. However, I think this is maybe a bit too much still from the Terran player, trying to take down the Liberators, and very may well just do it, but the tanks are still residual, taking down the Liberator at the cost of his army, at the cost of an Overseer. And now these 2 tanks, GG is called, and our friend Boosted has miraculously won the game. Folks, that was an amazing match, I'll tell you what. My friend CrowbarSpine, I gotta hand it to him. If I were to give a medal for whoever took the most efficient engagements, I would give CrowbarSpine the silver, and I would tell Boosted to get the hell out of the podium because he did not take very good engagements. I'm sorry, that's maybe a little bit harsh, but still, you know what? It was good enough. He took all right engagements, and while he was occupying the Zerg in the front, he absolutely knows how to harass. I would hate to face this guy on ladder, dropping here, dropping the main base, doom dropping wherever he can, hitting some pretty bad fungals on his army, but in the end, it just doesn't really matter. And our friend CrowbarSpine just needed to get a stronger economy up, maybe a quicker 4th base, maybe a higher drone count. But folks, shoulda, coulda, woulda is the story of Starcraft, and everyone, thank you so much for watching. You can go ahead and leave a like on this video if you did enjoy it. It helps me out much more than you may think. Let me know how you like out this style of casting with me in the top right hand corner over here. I can zoom out farther away or get a little bit closer to be a little bit more intimate. You can go ahead and subscribe to the channel if I didn't exactly put you off for more daily-ish StarCraft 2 content. you can leave a comment down below, and I will be, if you are so inclined, and I will be so certain to get back to you on that. You can send me your replays as CrowbarSpine or Boosted did at Mr79@outlook.com, and maybe, just maybe, I will cast your game. Actually, 9 times out of 10 I will, because I am one desperate SOB, folks. And remember, above all else, the internet could always use some more heroes. Whoa! Alright, I will never do that again. Mwah.